Can I tell y'all the absolute hardest part about doing what I do, being an anti-racism, um, equity, inclusion, and diversity professional? It's that the process is still steeped in white supremacy. The question always comes down to, how do we do this work and still make the people in power happy? How do we do this work and not make people feel uncomfortable? I don't really know how to be and be effective. I mean, that's what I realized a few years ago. It is impossible to talk about racism, white supremacy, and everyone feels comfortable. It doesn't exist, right? And so, what we need to do is press upon the people who are uncomfortable to be okay with being uncomfortable, because we have to do this work. And it's always so interesting to me, all that the stress that goes around, but we don't want to upset these certain group of people by talking about racism and equity and access and diversity. Well, you know, every job I've ever had, everything I've ever done, there's things that make me feel uncomfortable, but it's part of my job to make it happen. And I feel as if it needs to finally be understood that getting along with people that are different from you in a way that makes them not have to lose who they are and sacrifice a part of who they are is part of your job. You are required in a world that is diverse, whether you like it or not, that diversity is here to create environments that all people feel welcome and respected. And that's part of your job. And if that makes you feel uncomfortable, that just shows you that you have more work to do, but it doesn't release you from having to do the work. And so I'm so frustrated because I'm telling you, there is no client. I have yet to have a client that everybody goes in like, yes, equal rights for everybody. Yes, we want people to feel great. Yes, we understand the importance of diversity. Yes, we want everyone to have a voice. But how do we do this and not upset the executives, and we don't want them to feel as if what they have done has not been great, or what? Like, so who are we serving? Like, because we can't serve both most of the time. Like, we can't serve. And so it has to get to a point where people say, I'm sorry that this person will feel uncomfortable, but we do have to own that we haven't been as open and inclusive as we'd like to be. Our entire executive board or whatever is 97% white or 97% male. And that certainly doesn't show that we have a commitment to diversity. Our surveys have shown us that some people feel not a true part of this community. So yes, we haven't done things as well as we should have. That's okay. Our history has allowed for that. Our entire country's history has allowed for that. It was set up for that. But now things are changing. And we want to do better. And to do better, we have to own that we didn't do things great in the past. And we have to own that we want to do things better in the future. And that we have to own to do that, all of us are going to feel somewhat uncomfortable. And the priority cannot be to make one group, and to be quite candid, it's the same group, feel comfortable. That cannot be the priority. And if that continues to be the priority, then you will not make any progress in your DE&I goals. You just won't, right? You're going to make a statement, you're going to have a training, and things are going to continue to be the same because the priority is not making certain people feel uncomfortable. It is on them to start to be willing to be courageous and to feel uncomfortable like the rest of human beings do, right? Because sometimes we have to feel uncomfortable. And it must be a priority. And if those people cannot jump on the boat and get themselves together, then maybe that person's not the best leader. Maybe you need to look for some other leaders who are willing to adapt to change, which is what you would think that you would want in a leader. Not that the whole organization has to refuse to change or respect all the changes that are happening in order to protect the feelings of these 1, 2, or 5 people. That has really got to stop, guys, because in the long run, I wish people could see. I don't know what else it's going to take for them to see that they're certainly going to be uncomfortable, whether it be through lawsuits, protests, public shaming. Ultimately, in this world, the way that it is, the way that it's continually growing more and more diverse, you will be extremely uncomfortable if you're not willing to be somewhat uncomfortable now. These are just my thoughts, guys. It's Randy B. Always time for a conversation. Holler at you next time.